Welcome back to the Level Up Mindset series. This is episode 3, and today we're unlocking one of the most powerful academic secrets of all time: how to take notes like a genius. Whether you're in class, studying at home, or trying to understand your textbooks better, the way you take notes can completely transform how you learn. And no, it's not about having the prettiest handwriting or the most aesthetic color scheme. It's about taking notes that actually help your brain understand, remember, and apply the information. So settle in, grab a pen if you want to follow along, and let's talk about the note-taking habits that turn you into the kind of student who learns faster, remembers more, and performs better without burning out. Taking notes like a genius starts with understanding one thing: notes are not a copy. Notes are a translation. A genius doesn't just write down what the teacher says word for word. A genius listens, processes, and rewrites the information in their own way so it makes sense to their brain. And that right there is the key difference. Instead of becoming a human printer, you become a thinker. You take the information in, filter it through your understanding, and create notes that feel clear, simple, and easy to study later. One of the smartest habits you can build is focusing on meaning instead of speed. You don't need to write every sentence. You just need to catch the ideas that matter. Listen for key points, definitions, examples, and explanations. Listen for repeated phrases, because when a teacher repeats something, that usually means it's important. Listen for the moments when your brain says, "Oh, I didn't know that." Those are the moments you write down. Genius notes are intentional, not crowded. Another powerful strategy is using your own words. When you rephrase something, you teach it to yourself. Your brain understands it better because you took the time to put it into language you naturally use. If the book says photosynthesis is the process by which plants convert light energy into chemical energy, your genius notes might say plants use sunlight to make food. Same meaning, easier to remember. This doesn't just make notes simple, it makes learning faster. You'll be surprised how much more you retain. Another part of genius note-taking is structure. Your notes should have a flow that makes sense, not a random mix of sentences all over the page. Genius students space things out. They use bullets, arrows, short phrases, diagrams, and examples. They leave blank space so their brain can breathe and so they can add more later. Your page does not need to be full to be effective. In fact, the more open space you leave, the easier your notes will be to review. And speaking of reviewing, genius note-taking doesn't end when the lesson ends. One of the most powerful habits smart students have is reviewing their notes the same day they wrote them. Not for hours, just a few minutes. That small review locks the information into your memory and helps your brain organize everything before it gets forgotten. Review makes your notes meaningful. Without review, your notes just sit in your notebook looking pretty, but not doing anything for you. Another habit of genius note-takers is using visual memory. Draw mini diagrams, arrows, mind maps, tables, charts. Anything that visually connects ideas helps your brain understand the big picture. Your mind remembers shapes and patterns faster than long sentences. You don't need to be an artist, you just need to show your brain how ideas connect. When information is visually clear, it becomes mentally clear. Genius note-takers also use highlighting with intention. Instead of coloring everything like a rainbow, they highlight only the most important points. A single color is often enough. Highlighting is supposed to guide your eyes, not distract them. Less is more. When everything is highlighted, nothing is highlighted. But when only the key ideas stand out, studying becomes 10 times easier. Another powerful technique is active listening. Instead of writing every second, you pause and think. You listen for the deeper meaning. You connect with the teacher saying to something you already know. You predict what might come next. You watch for clues, the tone of voice, the emphasis, the examples. Genius note-taking is not fast writing, it's smart listening. The listening is what helps you understand. The writing is what helps you remember. Genius notes are also personal. They reflect the way your brain works. Maybe you like short bullet points. Maybe you like boxes. Maybe you write little symbols or stars. Maybe you write questions in the margin. Notes don't have to look like anyone else's. They just have to work for you. The goal is clarity, not perfection. Another habit top students have is turning their notes into study tools. They rewrite parts that look messy. They turn definitions into flashcards. They turn examples into questions. They add color to organize ideas. They make connections between different topics. They turn passive notes into active learning. And when you do that, your notes become powerful. They become study guides. They become your secret weapon. One of the most surprising habits of genius note-takers is that they don't write too much. They know the brain learns better when it isn't overwhelmed. They write only what is necessary, what is meaningful, and what helps them understand. This makes studying faster, easier, and more effective. And here's something important. Genius note-taking requires patience. You won't master it in one day, but if you start practicing little by little, listening, summarizing, organizing, reviewing, you will see a difference. Your grades will improve. Your confidence will grow. You'll start understanding things you once thought were confusing. And most importantly, studying will feel less stressful and more natural. You deserve to feel smart. You deserve to walk into class knowing you're prepared. You deserve notes that actually help you. And you deserve to become the student you're capable of being. Thank you for listening to episode 3 of the Level Up Mindset series. If you're ready to take notes like a genius, start today. Keep your notes simple, clear, and meaningful, and watch how fast your understanding expands. I'll see you in episode 4. Keep studying smart, keep growing, and keep becoming the best version of yourself.